I'm Eunice Johnson. Thank you for watching Energy Matters.
You might not know that you could actually use less energy to achieve the same result in your home or work or wherever you are and avoid wastage of energy. It's all about knowledge, which is what we would buttress on today's episode of Energy Matters. Our topic today is energy efficiency, particularly in relation to renewable energy, and we'll be focusing on solar. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this break. I am Eunice Johnson.
Are you aware? Arthur H. Rosenfeld is the father of energy efficiency. Arthur Rosenfeld, the physicist, became widely known as the father of energy efficiency for championing energy-saving requirements for appliances and buildings. His work, embraced at first in California under Governor Jerry Brown, gained national attention and helped lay the foundation for federal energy efficiency rules that are in place today. Dr. Rosenfeld's awakening to energy efficiency came in 1973, when the Arab oil embargo caused energy prices to soar and long lines began to form at gas pumps. He was then 18 years into a highly regarded academic career in nuclear and particle physics at the University of California, Berkeley. Arthur died at the age of 90 on the 27th January 2017 in Berkeley, Calif.
Welcome to the discussion segment of Energy Matters. As always, we have an expert to educate us on today's topic, which is energy efficiency in relation to solar energy. My guest is David Mezorike. He is the MD, Solar Force Nigeria, an affiliate of Solar Force Corporation USA. And today he would be talking to us about solar energy, energy efficiency, and all that encompasses this too. You're very much welcome.
Thank you, Eunice.
It's good to have you on the program again.
Oh yeah. Thank you.
So when one hears the terminology energy efficiency, what readily should come to mind?
You know, Eunice, I was been in the business for 13 years now. I'm looking at it and say, look, you can't talk solar renewable energy without talking about energy efficiency, because they're all married together. You can't implement one without the other. Now, first, let me define energy efficiency, what it means. Energy efficiency is anything that you do to save yourself some energy, from paying 10,000 naira in electric bill to paying 55,000 naira in electric bill. It goes to changing your light bulbs. Anything that you can do to reduce your wattage usage. Let me give you an example. I remember when we used to use those yellow light bulbs, 60 watts, 40 watts light bulbs. Now we're using what you call LEDs, light emitting diodes, the chip-based technology, and they give you light. And I was shocked when I walked in here and I said, guess what? You guys are on top of the game, because that's what you are using. Before, when you go into a studio, it's so hot because you're using the high pressure sodium lights to light up the studio. Plus you have camera generating a lot of electricity, a lot of heat. But now look at what you have. It's real cold, chilled, and you wouldn't even know you're in a studio. The reason is because you're using LEDs. And all what you have are all LEDs. They are chip-based technology. Each of them has little chips in them that gives you the energy that you require. And I can tell you, each one of them here is probably running at 50 watts when you check it. But the output in lumens, the output, when I say lumens, is the actual brightness. How bright is the light? That's how we measure the light. And the output is very high. So what you see going on in industry is that the brighter the light, the less wattage, less energy you use. So that's efficiency. So the industry is getting efficient by using less watts and more lumens. And the lights are getting brighter with less energy. So that's energy efficiency. And how does it relate to solar? Now, you can't have solar to where it is today without energy efficiency. What happened in the past is that when solar started coming up, and there were different kind of bulbs. They have bulbs, they were using bulbs that are running at 15 watts, 20 watts, 25 watts on a system. Then the LED industry kicked on, and they started making light bulbs that takes only 7 watts and gives you the same brightness. 5 watts and give you the same brightness. And I'm very excited to see in Nigeria, when we were talking about LEDs, energy-saving light bulbs in the past, 13 years ago, nobody was listening. Now I see it everywhere. Now the reason why you have the solar marrying the LED lights is because the LED light takes less energy. It takes less wattage. So when you're generating, we know that solar anyway, it's not a lot of electricity in it. But you have to maximize what you're generating from solar. So how do you maximize that? It's only when you use what? LED lights, which takes less energy and gives you more brightness. So that's what you have right now. You're giving a lot of lumens, a lot of brightness with less energy. So that's, if I can define it, if you can understand the concept of solar and energy efficiency, they're married together.
Which makes it more explanatory why they call it energy-saving bulbs.
Absolutely, yes. Now, those energy-saving bulbs, let me give you an example at the airport, in Nnamdi Azikiwe Airport. In 2010, some expatriates came from the United States. They did a study of the lights at the airport, which Solar Force was involved in. And each of the lights on the pole standing, they call it the mass lights, the one where the plane park and the lights right on top. Each of them is running at 12,000 watts. Each of those poles, because some of them has 6 lights, and each of the lights is 2,000 watts. So 6 times 2 is 12,000 watts. So the experts came up and said, look, well, why don't we check the lumens, the brightness is the same thing, so we change them to LED light bulbs. And it's only 1,200 watts. And 1,200 watts is still giving you the same brightness. Now you just save 90% on your energy use. So that translate that on a larger scale, where just like I said before, I don't know the exact amount of electricity that's being generated every day, but if I can use just 4 gigawatts of electricity and you're saving 90% of that, that's a whole lot. So that's why I always coin this word. I say energy saved is energy earned. Because if you're generating 4 kilowatts, and there's a way that we can save another if you're generating 4 gigawatts, and there's a way we can save 1 gigawatt out of it, that's earned. You just earn that. Exactly, correct. You just earn that. So that's why both of them has to work together.
So would you say that energy efficiency is an effective climate strategy?
Of course. Where did all this started? Where we started the solar, renewable energy because of the problem that we currently have with energy, with climate change. That's where the whole thing started. You know, our lifestyle changed, our feeding style changed, the way we transport ourselves changed. You know, the use of energy is changing. This is because of climate change. So energy efficiency is another huge part and parcel of this climate change issue. Because if you can save on what you generate, if you can save what you generate today, the impact of that to climate, to our entire climate, is going to be different. You're going to be using less fossil fuels. You're going to be using less fuel to do whatever you want to do. So that's the impact that you're going to have on energy when you apply energy efficiency efficiently.
Applying energy efficiency is one thing. Applying it efficiently is another.
Exactly.
Speaking of impact, which you rightly just touched on a bit, what can you say is the impact of energy efficiency on economic growth?
First of all, we are a developing country and continue to develop, and we have done well as a country. And today, the capital cost of generating electricity is very high. It's very expensive, and it's so much that can be done. We're only trying to do as much as we can. So, but with the cost of transmission lines, cost of buying turbines, cost of baseline generators, cost of solar, if you can conserve what you have, then you don't have to spend X amount of money, so much money, on buying new equipment and infrastructure to generate electricity. So that, in a way, will give more money back to the government. It will give more money back to the economy. It will give more money back to the regular person, the regular Joe on the street. And that money is money that we can apply for other capital projects, which again, in turn, provide jobs.
Okay, so how cost-friendly would you say solar is? Because I've heard of people who have done some sort of connections. I see solar panels, yet they're talking about certain things that they're still paying for as the time goes on. So which brings me to wonder if in the long run you're still paying for it while using it, when some would think that once you have the sun charging it, then that's about it. So could you explain better?
Really, there are two things you may have experienced. There's some people that go to the bank and borrow money to install their solar system, and the bank will loan them money for 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. So during the term of that loan, they have to make payments. But the average lifespan of any solar system today, if you have the right equipment, the quality equipment, you're going to look at 10 years. The average lifespan. Now, when you separate the components, you have panels that will go for 20 years. You have charge controller that will go for 10 or 12 years.
Irrespective of the weather.
Exactly, regardless. You have LED lights that will go for 12 or 15 years. But when you put the components together into a system, into a module, then you can say, okay, I can warranty this. Solar Force can go and warranty this for 3 or 4 years or 5 years or 6 years or even 10 years. Depends. But each individual component has their own warranties from the OEM or the equipment manufacturers. So to answer your question directly, solar is the way to go. It's cheaper. It's the cheapest that you can get today. Why? Once you make your initial payment, if you have the money to pay, and let's say you have a 3-bedroom house and you install a system for 5,000 naira and 5 million naira, that 5 million naira lasts you for 10 years. Now go do the math, how much you're spending on generator every month, how much you're spending on NEPA every month. When you add all that together and times it by 60, if it's 5 years, then you're going to find out you're ahead. And after your payback period probably run you about 5 years. Today in the industry, we're having a payback of for about 5 years. Then after 5 years, you have another 5 years to go. So 5 years for free. So it's no brainer.
So what happens after, say, 10 years or after the period for which it is supposed to last? Is there some sort of recharge, reinstallation? What next? What happens?
What usually happens is that when we say 10 years, it doesn't mean that all of them are going to break down in 10 years. No. Just like these LED lights that you have here, after a period of time, I don't know how long you've had it, but the normal length of time that LED lights would last for about 50,000 hours. Then if you translate on the use of LED lights, maybe 13 or 12 years. But on the 13th year, it doesn't mean that this LED light, you turn it on and it won't come on. No, some of the chips will start to die. So you come in, you see 1 or 2 or 3 on there. They're not coming on anymore, but the rest will continue to come on. So it's a gradual, it might take another 5 or 6 years for this LED light to eventually die after the warranty. So the same thing applies to when we install a system, a solar system, be it solar street light, build a home system, build a solar farm. Everything is not going to die at one time. The first thing that you're going to look at to die if you have a home system is your battery. Depending on the type of battery, if you spend extra money to buy the lithium-ion batteries, lithium phosphates, they cost a little more. Those are the batteries that you use on your phone. Those are lithium batteries. This is the battery that's used on your iPad. Those you pay a little bit more money, but they last longer. So if you use the lead acid battery, the regular battery that we use, the car battery, if I can come lower, those will die quicker. And when they die, you replace them. Then the next thing that may die is your charge controllers. When they die, you replace them. So the last thing that will die is your panels that you put on the roof. Those things are warranted for 20, 22 years, 25 years. So those are the last. But I haven't seen one die yet.
So what if it does? Do you come to reinstall, recharge?
If it does, we replace them. We just
like a fresh replacement.
Yeah, fresh replacement. But I haven't had that experience yet. This is a brand new industry. Period. So, and I've been in it for 15 years. So let's assume I installed a solar panel 15 years ago. So I still have about maybe 10 years to go before I can replace that solar panel. So I haven't had the experience yet.
Yes, but there's always a first time, and sometimes it pays to envisage.
Right.
Yes.
Right. You're correct.
At this point, let us take a quick break, and then when we return, the discussion will continue. Please stay tuned.
Though much of the world's energy is sourced from fossil fuels, it is no longer news that renewable energy, specifically solar energy, has come to stay. Solar energy simply means radiant energy emitted by the sun. Nigeria, one of Africa's leading countries, with above 2,600 hours of sunlight per year, arguably has the economic strength and environmental conditions to be a key player in renewable energy sources, especially solar. But first, how many Nigerians believe in its effective application or understand how it works?
If you've been conversant with energy-saving bulbs or the term, hearing it often, and you want to know why it actually saves energy, then you might not be far away from what we're discussing today, because we're talking about energy efficiency, which is reducing the use of energy to achieve the same result. And we've been discussing it in relation to solar energy. Now, talking about solar, a whole lot of people might want to believe that it doesn't really work in this climate. Some people are skeptical about the use of solar. Why do people think that way?
At the pioneer stage of solar, which I would say about 15 years ago, I give a lot of credit to the people that came before us. They did what they can based on the technology at the time. So, but, people's perception, first impression counts. So the impression that was given at the time wasn't too good. And that negative impression became embedded in people's mind that solar does not work. And I don't blame a regular consumer that wants to engage in this technology to use it for their own benefit. But when you see that, yeah, of course, it doesn't work. Some people will go as far as using their air conditioning unit and tie it to solar. that air conditioning unit might work for 2 or 3 hours and it will kill your battery. Not only the air conditioning unit is not working, your battery dies at the same time. So the perception then becomes solar does not work. Then again, you have another group in the industry that are pushing solar street lights, area lighting, but at that particular time, at the stage of the technology, street lighting and area lighting does not have the necessary type of lights, the LED lights, that energy-saving LED lights, to make them work perfectly like we have now. If I can bring something out to you, there is a bank that we're working for. I don't go around naming my clients anyway, but I can tell you specifically what we do. They have ATMs all over, and these ATMs needs a lot of, they need to be cooled down, to get rid of the heat so that they can last for a long time. And they started asking us, how can we get our air conditioning working in these ATMs and use solar at the same time? A lot of people ran away. We researched on and on for 4 years, and we found a way to do it. And I can't tell you all, but we have a special type of air conditioning unit that we buy. That's energy-saving air conditioning unit. It conserves a lot of energy. It takes less energy. And then we combine it with solar. And this system will work for 24 hours, cooling the units. And people come in and say, well, how are you doing it? Well, I'm not going to talk too much about how we do it. But the point is that energy saving, energy conservation, energy efficiency goes across the board to make solar work, to make it applicable. You can't go to use the regular air conditioning unit, or maybe 1 ton or 2 ton or 3 ton, regardless. But it has to be energy saving air conditioning unit.
So you cannot use solar panels with ordinary equipment or appliances?
You can use them, but they're not going to last long. In terms of, when I say lasting long, you have your battery, you have your inverter and all that. So what you harness from the sun and store in the battery, they're not going to last too long if you have a system that's consuming so much energy. But if you, on the other hand, have a system that is taking less energy, then they will last longer. In our industry, we call it hours of autonomy or days of autonomy. That is when you don't have any energy or sunshine. How long will this system give me power to power my AC and take care of my TV and all that? So if you have an energy guzzler, if you have an equipment that guzzles a lot of energy, like I give you the example with the airport, and you have 12,000 watts of electricity, that's what it's consuming, compared to 1,200 watts. Which one will last longer?
Yeah, I want to believe actually these things are it's just a mix-up, because it's almost same with the conventional form of energy. If you use so much equipment that consume more, your meter reads more.
Exactly, you pay more.
So it's almost the same thing, actually. But people want to...
Correct.
Exactly.
And that brings us back to the energy efficiency again. If our equipment are efficient, if our light bulbs are efficient, our stove efficient, TV efficient, then you're not going to draw a lot from the grid system. So
what's going to happen to the other non-efficient appliances? Are we phasing them out?
Well, fortunately, they are beginning to phase them out. They across the world, globally, they're beginning to. They have mandates now that, this is if you're manufacturing this equipment, this is how much watts that you have to use for that equipment.
Like a limit.
Exactly. It's beginning to change, really. Honestly, it's beginning to change. So it's not like, if you see now, if you go to the market, you don't see those 60 watts yellow light, daylight light bulb anymore, that much anymore. You can still see them and buy them. 40 watts, 60 watts, but it's not much anymore. People don't ask for them. People don't buy them because you have LEDs that is 5 watts, and they give you the lumens, the same brightness.
So how much solar can you store at a time? Is it that can you store it in advance, or are there categories of panels that can conserve or store up a certain amount of energy?
It's always stored in advance anyway, because what happens is that your sun, I don't want to sound too technical, but I want to make it, it's like you're working and you earn every month 100,000 naira per month. You don't spend all that 100,000 naira per month. You might spend 60,000 naira per month and save the other 40,000 naira. That 40,000 naira, you put it where? In your bank. It stays in the bank. Okay. Now, if you go overdraw that money in the bank and it goes into negative, that means you don't have any more money in the bank, right? So just relate that to solar. My panel is me working. It's me generating electricity from the sun. I'm harnessing electricity from the sun. And I'm getting only 100 watts, 100,000 naira every day. So 100,000 naira every day, I'm using 60 instantly, right there and then. I'm using 60. Then I'm storing what? 40. Where am I storing the 40? In the battery. The battery that's in here, lithium-ion battery or lead acid. That's where I store them. So when the sun is out, when I don't have any more money, then I go to the bank to get some money. My bank is my battery. So I go back to the battery and I say, look, turn the TV on, turn this on, the battery start giving me energy to run that. But if I spend too much, more than what I have in the battery, it's going to go negative and the battery will die.
So on a lighter note, what can you say about solar-powered phones? Do we have plans on any plan on that?
Solar-powered
phones.
They're already there. They're already there. You can power anything with solar. You can power anything with solar. The only difference is that how long is it going to last you? Because of the cost today, we can power this whole place with solar right now. Okay, but you got to look at the cost. I said because the more you add onto it, the more energy you add, the more you're going to get, the more battery you're going to get to store, the more panel you're going to have to harness the sunshine. So that's why when I came the other time, I said, let's just start with residential because it's not industrial. Because those are the ones that, it's a lot of residential units out there, but they don't take, each house doesn't take that much. All a house has is TV, refrigerator, decoder, and all those little things. So you can run them with solar, and you can run a whole bunch of houses in that order. So you can practically run anything on solar, but if you have the money to spend, yeah.
So how would you rate the energy efficiency culture in this climate? Talking about Nigeria, are we making the most of?
No. Tell you the truth, we're not. We're not. We have a whole lot more to do. There has to be a drive to make people aware of the opportunities out there and how to save energy. And because overall, who benefits from this whole thing? The energy producer benefits, the marketer benefits, the consumer benefits. Yeah, because what you're doing is that once you're saving more, then you have more to distribute. And at the same time, the power line is not too much bogged down with demand because you are saving. And the breakdowns goes down compared to everybody trying to get power from the grid at the same time. So there was a time about six years ago when there was a drive to make people aware of energy saving light bulbs and the need for LED light bulbs, and suddenly stopped. But I'm glad that people are becoming aware of it without even being told this is what you are. You just people just telling each other this is what you need to get. This what. So with that it will only go like this. So it will only get better, and people will always will get to know that this is the way to go. But for now, I would say each individual, me, you, and everybody here, we can tell our friends. Government can make people aware of it.
Yes, which brings me to the issue of sensitization. Do you think there's enough sensitization on the energy efficiency and the employability of solar, or the usability of solar to improve the power system?
That's a totally different topic that can always be handled. I can say a program can be set up where maybe every week, twice a month, to sensitize people over available appliances, equipment out there that are energy saving, available light bulbs that are energy savings, different type of equipment that are energy saving, and also just the simple mechanics and the math of using energy saving light bulbs. Once you make people aware of it and they get to know, what, this old yellow light, 60 watts, we call it high pressure sodium lights for the street lights. And it's amazing in our city. Please, nobody should get upset at me, but I'm going to say it based on experience. In our city here in Abuja, we don't need to be using high pressure sodium bulbs. We don't need to. High pressure sodium bulbs are those bulbs that you have on the street, on the regular street. If you go out there, those poles out there, the light bulbs on them are high pressure sodium. And each of those light bulbs, depending on the height of the pole, each of those light bulbs is running at about 250 watts. While you can replace them with LED that's running at only 50 watts.
Oh, quite a
big game changer. So you ask yourself, why haven't we done it?
Yes,
what are we waiting for?
I think it still has a whole lot to do with the issue of awareness, because I remember years back when most homes were filled with the yellow bulb.
Yes.
And I think it was from someone. I just saw it and I was like, I like this. And I got to find out that it was energy saving bulb.
Correct.
Went back home and changed everything in the house.
Exactly.
So it's about passing the message across. Let us just take another break, and then when we return, the discussion would still continue.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
Why conserve energy in the first place? Energy efficiency brings a variety of benefits, reducing greenhouse gas emissions and demand for energy imports, and lowering our costs on a household and economy-wide level. You can save money, increase your property value, and protect the environment, all through simple energy-saving measures. By simply taking a small step towards living a more energy-conscious lifestyle, you can begin to enjoy all the profits of being energy efficient. Here are some few tips to help you conserve energy to the barest minimum.
Welcome back. Now, before we went on the break, you were going to explain further.
Yes, I was going to bring out how far we've gone on LED light bulbs, and I was going to bring some of the light bulbs because we manufacture them. And about 6 years ago, we manufactured about 100,000 pieces, and we gave it all away. And it's still in some people's homes. And those bulbs, we put on it 2 years warranty. If it dies within 2 years, before 2 years is out, bring it back, we'll give you another one.
Solar bulbs?
Yes, LED bulbs. You can use it for solar. You can use it in your house. You can do whatever you want to do with it.
Oh.
Yeah. So we manufacture those. We manufacture all this. So what I'm saying is that Nigeria has gotten to the point that we know these technologies now. We can manufacture them. We can apply. We can do whatever we want to do. Solar optics, which is LED light bulbs, energy-saving light bulbs, they fall in the family of optics. So we know optics. So we can manufacture those.
Here in Nigeria?
Of course. We can manufacture them here in Nigeria. So but for now we're manufacturing overseas but we design and manufacture overseas and bring them here. Manufacturing here is not a big deal. We know what to do. But the point is that people look at us Nigerians and think that, we don't know anything, or we haven't reached to the point to understand certain technology. But I can tell you, solar technology and light technology, we know it. We have people that know it. We have people that can design it. We have people that can manufacture it. So it's not a rocket science that we Nigerians cannot do it. So what we just have to do now is sensitization. What we have to do is just letting people know this is what these bulbs can do. This is what these equipments can do. You're talking about generating electricity, and we're at 3 point something gigawatts of electricity, and we need, I think, we need close to about 12 gigawatts to just maintain the demand right now. But we fail to realize, you know what? There is energy efficiency also. That if we go on and just conserve what we're currently generating, that our problem will be a little less. But we overlook that. So we have to pay serious attention to conservation, energy efficiency, looking for ways to, make what currently exists efficient. Turning your lights off if you don't need it at home, it might sound very awkward, and some people might say, why would I do that? I have a generator running. Get used to it. Get used to it. If you're not using the light bulb on your bathroom, turn it off.
I actually think it's only the right thing to do, because even when you're using meters, people have started getting conscious of the fact that light is pay as you use.
Yes, use.
So the more you regulate it, the better for you.
Exactly, of course. So it's something that people has to know. People has to be sensitized and say, look, this is what you need to do. There's a gentleman that when we brought these 10,000 light bulbs that we designed, that we manufactured under our brand, and we gave it away. And this gentleman, we went to his house, we just looked at everything. He said, take this out, take this bulb out, take this one out, take this one out. At the end of the day, we took out about 40 bulbs, light bulbs. 40 light bulbs are 60 watts. Give me the math. Wow. About 240 watts, if I'm correct. About 240 watts. And we replaced 40 light bulbs with 5. With 5. That's how many? Give me the math. You save so much money. Okay, so if my math is correct, if you walk it 40 bulbs times 60.
That's 240.
To 40. Yes. Then 40 bulbs times 5.
200. Now you're taking me back to
school. It's about 40. It's about 40.
40 by 5? Are you saying 40 times 5?
Yeah.
You're going to
40 times 5. That's
It's 200.
It's 200. Okay. Okay. The other one is what?
240.
240. So you say you have your savings. If my math is correct, you guys can figure it out. But what I'm saying is that is the savings are there if we start taking it serious today. Energy saving light bulbs. If we start taking it serious, energy efficiency. We have to marry it together. They have to marry. Solar, energy efficiency, come together, then you have a huge savings. Then solar becomes very practical. It becomes something that everybody can use.
And embrace.
And embrace, yeah.
Very quickly, because we're wrapping up already. How would you say that energy efficiency relates to the application of solar specifically?
From my knowledge so far in the industry as an expert, really, you can't operate solar efficiently without energy efficient appliances and equipment. You can't. You can't. You really can't. In the past, when people were complaining that solar does not work, especially solar street lights, that it does not work, the reason was this. Simple. They were designing, when you design your system, and then you go and take a 60 watts light bulb and put in it, just like I gave you example of the bank. So, and you have a fixed amount of panel that is generating X amount of electricity that you store in your battery. And then you have your 60 watts light bulb that's going to drain the battery at night. And so it might run for 2 or 3 hours. And it will pack up. So you come out at the middle of the night and look at that light, that pole, there's no light. What will you go conclude? You automatically say solar doesn't work. The next day you come, the light comes out again at 6 o'clock. By 9 or 10, it packs up. And you continue to see that every day. What are you going to say? Solar does not work.
Doesn't work.
But the game changer is this. When the LED light bulbs started coming in, and then we can really play with the technology. We can really say, okay, I want this brightness. I want my light to be this bright, but this is the wattage I want. So I want only 5 watts, and I want this brightness to exist here. And if it's only 5 watts that I want, then I can design my solar system to use that just 5 watts. So if I'm using 5 watts an hour, every hour, then in 12-hour period is 60 watts. See that? So I can store enough in the battery. I can say, let this battery keep 100 watts in there. Okay? Let this battery keep 100 amp hours in there. And that I can use it to run this light. So that means my light will stay from 6 to 6 in the morning. So I just tricked you. So when you wake up by 1 o'clock in the morning to look, my light is on. So you go back to sleep. So are you going to come and tell me again that solar does not work? It works. So the reason why solar is working now is because of the energy saving light bulbs that we have in the industry. And we have taken it a little bit to the next level. The next level is we Nigerians are designing these things now. We Nigerians know the color spectrum. That's another technical terms that we use when we manufacture these things. We Nigerians know the lumens that we want. We Nigerians know how many watts that I need to design my solar system so that when I put it in this state or that state, it will never go off. And we Nigerians can come and tell anybody, I say, look, if I install your system, I'm giving you a 4 years warranty. I'm giving you a 3 years warranty. Oh, how are you going to do that? Because I designed it.
So does it mean when it packs up within that span of the warranty, you come back and fix it for
Oh yeah,
free?
when it packs up, I fix it. I'll give you another one. I'll fix it or give you another one. The technology's gone too far. We're not in those days anymore. No, we've gone too far in the technology.
Are there parameters for measuring why it packed up?
Of
Because
course.
that might be either from the end of the end user or because the panel was faulty.
What we normally do is, if you know of NTBS, it's a U.S. agency that when a plane crashes, the NTBS will go in and put all that plane together. Even if it crashed in the sea, they will pick up all the parts, pick it all up, build it back up, build the plane back up. You know why they do that? To find out what caused the crash. You got to know what caused the crash. Now, we have archive going back 13 years in Nigeria of our work in Nigeria. How did we get to where we are? NTBS. We became our own NTBS. So when something packs up, we don't run away. Why did it pack up? We take time, go and pick up all the pieces, find out why. Then we'll build on that. We'll build on that. We'll build it, we'll test it until you get it perfect. Because you have to get it perfect. It has to work. But if you're looking at it as that, just install it, when it packs up, you call me on the phone, I'm not going to answer. I got your money. No, it's not. It doesn't. Those are the ones that are causing problem in the industry. So, to answer your question directly again, is when during the warranty period, even after the warranty period, because this is an industry that we are in, the goal in the industry is to keep this industry alive. The goal is to, if anything happens, even after the warranty, go and find out why. Why did it happen? How can I remedy the problem? So, if in our office we've archived a whole lot of work going back 13 years that we can always go and pick up and say, oh, okay, this state we have seen this type of problem in this state maybe 6 years ago. Why did it happen? Okay, let's do something different. Maybe increase the size of the battery or do this or that. So we know that we have been able to gather all that information that we can always know what will go wrong. I can now tell you if I install a system and you call me on the phone and say, I'll tell you right away, I say, this is what your problem is. Because we know the general components of that system. So now we've gone to the point, which I didn't bring it up the other time, we see a lot of people now that for their solar system, with the exception of the home systems, they will just pick up the phone and call, go to Amazon. I'm not saying anything about I'm on Amazon, or go to eBay, or call anybody to ship them something that they have in the shop. And they will bring it in, especially solar street lights, and they bring it in and they go install it. You didn't manufacture it. You didn't know the component. You don't know the component inside. You don't know what is there. You don't know how it's manufactured. You don't know that if that solar street light was specifically, which is always done, specifically manufactured for a different side of the world. But you go and buy it and you install in Nigeria. What do you expect?
Which makes it a bit difficult to be answerable to whatever comes out.
That's one. Two is that solar street lights are manufactured specifically for a particular location. So if I gotta do your solar street light right now, right here, first we'll come in, we'll do what you call sometric study.
More like an assessment.
Assessment, check the weather pattern, rainfall, humidity, ambient temperature. We get all that together, then we'll go on and we'll design a system. Then we'll design the system, because that's where the technology is. So we know the kind of battery we'll use, we know we'll bring all that together. After we install it, that's when we can tell you, so we'll give you 3 years warranty, we'll give you 4 years warranty, because we know what is this. It's not like something that somebody else already manufactured and kept in storage and I buy it. How can I give you a warranty on that? I can't. If I go out of the shop and just buy something and ship 10 or 15 containers of solar street lights into Nigeria, I cannot give you a warranty because I didn't manufacture it. Nobody put me in the process. I wasn't part of the quality control. I wasn't part of the design team. I wasn't part of the manufacturing process. So why would I give you a warranty? So these are what is happening right now in our country. So, but that has to stop. That has to stop. We've gone past that stage as a country. We're way out there. Nigeria is way out there on this technology. We are way out there. If nobody can tell you, I can tell you. I've been in it for 13 years in Nigeria, and I've been in overall for 15. So we've gone too far.
Well, we've gone too far. In his words, I haven't heard all that he has said. If you're still asking why solar, I like to say, why not solar when we have all the sunshine? My guest has been David Mezurike. He is the MD Solar Force Nigeria, an affiliate of Solar Force Corporation USA. It's been wonderful speaking with you.
Thank you, Eunice.
I actually learned a whole lot, and I'm considering solar installation in my home.
Come on, we're ready. We're ready, and we'll give you we'll give you a robust warranty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eunice. Appreciate it.
It's been amazing.
Wonderful. Yes, yes.
Yes, on this note, we'll call it a day on the discussion segment of the program.
I'm Eunice Johnson. Thank you for watching Energy Matters.